Okay. So transitioning, I want to talk about the Vogue article with women thinking that it's embarrassing having a boyfriend now. And it just really goes to show how cooked things are. I'm telling you, a lot of things are cooked. And not in a way that makes me, oh, I'm like excited, bro. I'm excited, bro. This has to happen. It's always felt like for a while now to me that we do need a big reset in society. You know, a good way to understand the health of a society is to look at the average man of a society, because the average man is the producer of society, right? He helps produce society. Women working doesn't, who gives a fuck? We could take all the women out of the working market right now and nobody would even blink an eye. Nobody would even know, like, oh, women are not working. In fact, shit would be more efficient. You wouldn't have to deal with some bitchy HR lady telling you, hey, you can't say that. Hey, you did this. Like, shut up, bitch. Fuck off. Anyway, like, we wouldn't even notice if they weren't working. But if we took all the men out of the workforce tomorrow, nigga, you would be cooked instantly. Lights would be turning off. You can't flush the toilet anymore. You just wake up and you're like, why is it dark? Why are the street lights off? Why is the toilet flushing? Why can't I put gas in my car? Like, we just be, the shit would be shut down because men actually work in the critical infrastructures that keep society going, while women do some gay ass office job instead of being at home having a family and raising babies. So women right now thinking that boyfriends or having a boyfriend is embarrassing goes to show how fucking psyop the women have gotten and how cooked the women have gotten, and how, in a way, in a funny way, radicalized the women have gotten. That they even think having a relationship with a guy now is embarrassing. I saw one comment, I think it was on TikTok, saying that, why does having a boyfriend feel Republican? Like, what the fuck? How did this happen? There was actually a time where men and women actually worked well together. 1950s time. I always refer to the 1950s, but it really was a golden age for America, bro. Everybody was working together in unison. Even before the 1950s, since the beginning of just humankind, men served women and women served men, and everything worked. And we did this for decades and decades and decades. All of a sudden, because of Gloria Steinem and Jews, let's just be real, it switched. Now, women are like, you know what? I want to be strong and independent. I want to go work on my own. I want to go do all these different things. And then we gave these bitches the right to vote. Why? If I was there back then, I'm like, y'all niggas is retarded. Why are we doing this? What the fuck? I'm like, wait, niggas. We got to think about this. For the entirety of human history, bro, we have controlled these hoes. What the fuck makes you think letting them be free would help? We knew these bitches were retarded. That's why we controlled them instantly. We just knew. We knew, okay, these bitches are not capable of manipulating the world and the universe like we are as men. They're not designed for this shit. They're not designed to go fight the woolly mammoth and kill it and then bring the meat back to the village. They're not designed for that shit. They're designed to make baby, take care of baby. That's it. And obviously give me some fellatio too. But point being, that's what it was for. And then we decided to change that shit. And now we're here today where women think having a boyfriend, literally having a significant relationship with a man, is embarrassing. It's Republican. Like, what the fuck? And this is where I want to lay out my plan for when I become president, how to basically fix the women. Because a lot of this behavior or them becoming like this is because of both education and the media. You know? So, of course, once we're able to finally take control back over the media and education from Jewish influence, and we actually have Americans running all these institutions, education and media, we can now fix the women. Because a primary reason as to why women are like this is because of what they have seen from the media and who is educating them. That's the primary reasons why this bullshit has happened. Primary reasons. Because if I want to change somebody's behavior, all I have to do is control their environment and control what they see. If you can control somebody's environment and control what they see, you will control who they actually become. Because your environment, you naturally assimilate to. I talk about it a lot because I understand for you guys, if you guys want to become successful, I tell you guys, you got to cut off bums from your fucking life. You can't be around bum ass niggas. You can't talk to bum ass niggas. You can't think like bum ass niggas because you'll become a bum ass nigga. So you have to get rid of them. It's not even out of hatred. It's just if you want better for your life, if you want to become extremely accomplished and extremely successful, you want to be as close as possible to very extreme, focused, and competent men, because that will make you very extreme, focused, and competent as well. Because you're around them, their behaviors are gonna rub off on you. You're gonna be forced to adapt to the situation because that's your environment now. Who you are is who you hang around. You've heard this shit a million times, and it will forever reign true. You adapt to whatever your environment is. Understand? So with that understanding, I just extrapolate that to women. The primary reason why women are fucking batshit crazy now, and they're on this feminist girl boss shit that destroys their lives, because 50 or 40 to 50% of Gen Z women right now are either in therapy or on antidepressants, which shows that this feminist bullshit is fucking dumb and bad for them. They should actually be at home, barefoot, raising a fucking family, and having little babies and shit. That's what they should be doing. That's actually productive for society, right? We have put them in a situation because of the media and the education system for them to think that that shit is bad. There's been many polls done to show that a family and children is the last thing on the average 22-year-old, 18 to 24-year-old woman's mind. A family and children. What's really on their mind is traveling and fucking building a career. Almost like they're a man. I mean, this is essentially what we've made them. We've turned women into men. To the point that they think even being attached to a man is embarrassing or Republican. And they've been pulled so fucking far left. And the men have been pulled very, very far right. And let me tell you guys something very important about this. Maybe a lot of you guys have seen and noticed with a lot of men becoming more far right, that means that the women are going to start coming closer to us. But the opposite is true. And this article shows that even being connected to a man feels Republican, because that's how far left they're going. And if you look at South Korea, it only gets more aggressive. The further right men pull, the further left women go. So it's only going to get worse, guys. I'll tell you that shit right now. It's only going to get worse. As men become more radicalized and more far right and want to be more and more traditional, the women are only going to go further and further left. Which means relationships, the nuclear family, is only going to get more and more strained. Understand? So back to how I would fix this. Well, once we're able to take control back over the education system and the media from Jews, because we have to do that first, of course. If we don't do that, then there's no fucking way we can fix it. Because as I said, if we control the education and the media, we can control the women, because women spend a majority of their time in these public schools, for example. And even me and you were raised in these public schools that push all this leftist and liberal and everybody's equal and that dumbass ideology. We grew up with this shit. We spent more time in these schools than we did with our families or our parents. If we combine all the time we spend in school and all the time we spend on social media and all this other kind of stuff over the past 2 decades, several decades, even before that, even before I was born, because I was born in 2001, we spent so much time in these institutions that are overrun and watching this media that's overrun by leftist and liberal ideology. So it's only natural that all these women wanted to become very, very, very independent and do all this other kind of shit. And all the men were psyoped into agreeing with it. That's also what made it worse. The men were psyoped into losing all their standards. A woman is equal to you. She's just like you. She can do all the things you can do. Yada, yada, yada. All this other dumb shit. She's equal. We're all the same. So what ended up happening is naturally the women become the men, because they're telling women that the women are the same as the men. So boom. The media says that, and the education system says that. So you do this for fucking several decades. When the men start to realize, whoa, bitches are acting crazy. Do you think the bitches are all of a sudden going to turn around and be like, no, I want to be conservative. I want to be a traditional mom all of a sudden. No, they're going to double down because women are dumb. You know, women don't be critically thinking about the shit that they do. They just listen. Women are obedient. This is also why they do a lot better at school a lot of the times. Not because they're smarter or they're critical thinkers, because they're better at just listening and being obedient. It's in their biology to be this way, right? So naturally, they're going to be resistant to any criticism and say, hey, stop doing that shit, because they've been so deeply psyoped and ingrained to think, no, they're like a man. They can be strong and independent. And we've made society so safe to allow them to think this. Because, nigga, in these fucking war-torn, warring countries, They can't think like this. Feminism is a very expensive ideology, guys. It's a super expensive ideology. Very fucking expensive to think this. Unless you're the foremost powerful country in the world, you can't have feminism there. It's only in really safe, strong military countries you can have this bullshit and think these ideas. Because in war-torn countries, it's war. It's about survival. Then women will naturally regress because they have to. But because they're not forced to, and then obviously you add in the education system and then the media psyoping them, boom, we get the situation we have now where men are realizing, oh, no, this shit is all fucking gay. We can't do this anymore. We start pulling far right, but the women double down because women don't take accountability for shit, guys. So if you think there's some scenario where just because a lot more men are waking up to this bullshit with women, that they're suddenly going to be like, oh, yeah, you know what? I'm right. I should be a mom. Fuck no. Only the most masculine of women are even going to be able to critically think and realize, oh shit, yeah, you're right. But 90% of the women are just going to double down because they can't take accountability for shit. They're not meant to be responsible. We're the ones who are meant to be responsible and fix all this shit. Women, when they want to fix a problem, they ask a man. When we want to fix a problem, we fix it. So what they'll even do, they'll get their simps and other fucking men to attack you for saying, hey, you're a dumb whore. You need to stop doing this shit. Understand? So women are just going to double down more, which is why I was saying with the way their women and men are being politically affiliated, the further men go right, the further women are going to go left because women don't take accountability. Understand? So how do we fix this? Well, as president, what I really want to do, once we, like I said, we get control over the media and we get control over the education system, I want to push conservative family traditional values in these institutions and areas again, right? I want to celebrate in the media being a mom, being a mother. Hell, I don't even mind subsidizing it through the government to make women want to be mothers and be it stay-at-home moms, just to rehabilitate the country. Because if we can have a situation where the media is celebrating motherhood, because the media does not celebrate that shit, the media actually shoots that shit down. And we obviously already know a lot of conservative voices and ideals have been absolutely fucking silenced throughout all media and all education institutions. A woman could be conservative as fuck. You send her off to one of these liberal ass, gay ass institutions or colleges. 4 years later, all of a sudden she's saying, hey, don't be racist. Hey, don't be misogynistic. No, I want to be a boss, babe. I want to travel. All of a sudden, when before she's like, I want to be a mom and raise kids. It's like she just switch up. Then she fucking cut her hair, dye that bitch, get the, oh, fuck no. Get the septum piercing. Oh, cooked. You know it's over. Because she got indoctrinated. Like I said, women are squishy. Their brains are squishy. They just absorb. They never push back against anything. They just absorb shit. They're obedient. Understand? So, with that being said, conservatives need to re-infiltrate the education system. Because a woman will go to a public school at 4 years old and then go all the way up through college, come out of college at 22 years old, and then hear her very first conservative value. That's how late women are hearing this shit. That women will be hearing their first ever conservative value, like, hey, you need to raise a family. You need to raise a family and have children. That should be your number one priority. That'll be the first time a woman will hear that in today's day and age. The first time a woman will hear that in today's day and age will be at 22 years old. Unless she has a really conservative family. And even if she has a conservative family, that shit will get trained out of her. She watches the media enough. She goes all the way through public school to one of these liberal institutions. It's over. All of that shit gets trained out of her to the point that she even forgot about that shit. So that's why I know, okay, I need to fucking attack the education system. I need to make sure, no, they're seeing and hearing conservative values. We need to have conservative teachers that are okay with pushing these values. And the reason why is because the liberals don't mind doing it. If you go to the average elementary school nowadays, there's trans flags everywhere. There's inclusivity and all this other bullshit everywhere. So liberals do not mind pushing their ideology in the public schools, which is why these women are coming out crazy. So conservatives need to come back and be like, fuck no, God, Christian, values, believing in God, being Christian, standing up for the pledge, American flags everywhere. traditional families, nuclear family, all this shit needs to be seen. These kids need to see this shit. It needs to be a war. Or once I become president, I'll find ways to enforce it so they can see this stuff. If the country is not completely cooked by then, right? So they can see these things. Same thing with the media. Because a primary reason why shit also got worse is when social media and the internet got way, way fucking better around that 2012 time when all social media got created. Liberal ideology dominated this shit. Conservative voices and values all got shunned. And like I said, women are squishy guys. Meaning women don't protect their minds. Women will watch the media. It could be some shit like women are getting raped everywhere. And women will just believe it. You think women question shit? Women are curious about shit? No, women just sit and listen, guys. So when they're watching TikTok, scrolling their For You page, and they're saying women get raped, they think that. They just believe it now. It becomes their truth, even though it's not true. To the point that women can say retarded shit like my truth, because what that really means is I feel like something is true, so therefore it is true. Whereas for us as men, it's what is actually true. For women, whatever I feel is true is true. So imagine they're sitting there for hours a fucking day, for years, scrolling their TikTok page saying men are this, men are bad, men are this, men are this, men are this, men are bad. They're just going to believe this shit because they're not going to question anything, which is why we need to gain control over the media again. In the sense of conservative values need to be seen in media all the fucking time. It can't just be the liberal shit of course, the women are going to become the way they've become. It's only natural. Liberal and leftist ideology has controlled the media and the education systems for so fucking long. It's only natural women are the way that they are. It becomes very simple when you really think about it. So the only way to fix this shit is we have to control the education system again, and we have to control the media again. And conservative values need to be pushed and seen all the fucking time. That way, women are not coming out fucking crazy and actually value having children and a family. Understand? That's what it would look like for me to be able to fix this shit once I become president. That's exactly what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to be looking at. Because it's the primary reason why this bullshit has all happened is because of that. Liberal and leftist ideology has dominated all these institutions and environments that women are constantly in. It's only natural they're going to assimilate to this shit, and we're not going to be able to fix it. It's too late before they hear their first conservative value that, hey, you should actually be barefoot on some barn with like 8 fucking kids. It's too late. They're already 22, 24. They've been indoctrinated and psyoped, and women don't rarely ever change their beliefs. Unless they're literally forced to, like life or death. They're not going to change their beliefs. They're just going to double down. As I've been saying, women double down. They don't take accountability for listening or hearing bullshit. They just double down. So the only way we can fix this shit is if we retrain them. We have to re-psyop them to liking all the shit that builds strong and beautiful nuclear families again. It's the only fucking way. So that's my plan to change all this shit to the point we'll get things way, way back to a point where women don't think it's embarrassing to have a fucking boyfriend or it feels Republican to have a boyfriend. Like, what the fuck are we doing? It shows how bad things have gotten. And I already know it's going to get worse before it obviously gets better. Because once I take office, then I'm going to fix this shit. But it's going to get way worse by then. And if we don't go to World War III before then, you know what I'm saying? We should be good. I should be all right. I should have enough time to fix all this shit. But that's kind of what my plan would be to save America, to save the nuclear family. Because that's the primary reason why I want to do this. If we can fix the women, we can save the nuclear family. And we can have strong nuclear families again. Young men can actually deal with women again. You could have that shit where you guys both get married again, where people both get married at 18 again and stay together for fucking ever. And you don't get divorce raped in court nowadays. Like, compared to getting divorce raped nowadays in court, that shit doesn't happen anymore. People are getting married again at 18. Everything is good. We just have to re-sigh out the women. So once we look at that process, we should be good to go. But that's my plan. That's how I would do it. That's how I'd move. And I think with that, we would be good to go. Because it's been so annoying to see. And this also applies to the entertainment industry. We need more like fucking conservative entertainers, streamers. We need more conservatives that are in the entertainment industry. So people can have more access. Well, not people, fucking women have more access to this shit. Because if you look at all the entire entertainment industry, they push all the bullshit too. All these entertainment industries, these movie stars, these actors, these streamers, all of this shit is leftist bullshit. All of them agree with mutilating children and all this other kind of shit. And the vast majority of people watch that stuff. So it's only natural once again. So it's the media, it's the education system, it's the entertainment industries. We need to push conservatism into all these industries. So last thing I would actually say, and what we could do even right now to start this process before I become president. If you're a young conservative man, and let's say you're interested in being an actor, you're interested in becoming a streamer, you're interested in getting to in anywhere in music, you're interested in anything in the entertainment industry, be open about your conservatism. Be open about your conservative values and valuing women being moms and having children and not pursuing careers and not being crass and annoying. Value them being nice, submissive, wanting to be moms and be nurturers, wanting to be quiet when a man's speaking, submitting to a man's authority. Push those things as an entertainer. Sure, will it get you ridicule? Will it get you criticism? Yes. But in the long run, it serves the country. Because if you do it, then a musician who's looking at you that's on the come up is going to be like, you know what, I'm going to do it too. Then someone after them is going to do it. Until now, you have all these entertainment industries that have all these people pushing conservative values. But if someone is not willing to start, it never fucking happens. And all these liberal ideologies are allowed to continue to dominate in the entertainment industry. And all these women keep seeing it, and we only get more cooked. We can only start to pull them back if we're open about our conservatism and our values everywhere. Even if they try to blackball you or kick you out or whatever, do not fucking stop. Because as long as you don't stop, you can't lose. Once you have the desire to make some shit happen, you're already aimed. You're like a compass. You're going to fucking win if you just don't stop. You will find a fucking way. And if we have more men that are willing to do that shit, we can fix the entire country. Before, obviously, I take office. And then we're going to really, exacerbate that shit. But that's what we have to do. We need more conservatism across these industries. We need more conservatism in the education system. We need more conservatism in the media. We need more conservatism in the entertainment industry. We need to be open about this shit. Because if we're not fucking open, this shit is not going to work. The women are only going to get fucking worse. Okay? So that's where we're at. That's how I want you guys to move. That's how I want you guys to think. And as more young men start to do this, shit will get fixed. For sure. I can guarantee it, actually. It will. Okay.